Welcome back to another tutorial, guys. I appreciate you coming back and watching some more. Like I said in the last video, today we're going to be going over a wave picture. You can find the raw file in the description below. Really quick also, if you could take a minute and just subscribe to my channel and also like my videos, it really helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. But getting right back into this picture. So here we can see I shot these waves that were just coming and crashing on right on Lake Erie. Found a spot that they bounce off a wall and they go back and they just collide together, creating these magnificent, towering walls of water. This is just one of many that I've gotten, but today you guys are going to be getting this picture here. So why don't we go ahead and jump right into the develop module. And what we're going to do first is actually we're going to crop this, only because I feel there is a lot of distraction around the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. I'm going to hold the shift key to keep the proportions original, which is roughly about a 4:6 crop if you were to print this eventually. And I like to put it dead smack in the center. And boom, done. Okay, perfect. Alright, now, first off, I do kind of like the beginning, like the foreground, and I like the background, and then you have the midground, which is the wave. But I want the foreground just a little bit more blurry, so I'm going to tackle that first. I'm going to grab the tool, which is the gradient filter, and I'm going to take the sharpness, I'm going to drop it down, I'm going to take the clarity, I'm going to drop it down just a little, not all the way, and I'm going to pull up, let's see, let's just do like, yeah, like that, that'll work. Okay, so it's very minor, it's not perfect, but we're just going to go through. Yeah, you see, if you crank it all the way up, it just doesn't look natural, it doesn't look normal. And that's mainly because the clarity. The clarity does this weird like fuzziness to it. So we're just gonna just gonna leave that at 0. Now let's take the sharpness. Let's bring that to about -80. I like that, but I'm gonna take the brush and I'm actually gonna erase a couple parts. Just these parts should be in focus. Flow. Yeah, there we go. We're just gonna go through, just do a little nothing perfect. It's not. It's a gradual filter, so the top part here really doesn't show that much. And let's turn that back off and see where we are at. Yeah, I'm starting to like that. Let's move that up just a little bit. Okay. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna duplicate it, just to see what it looks like. See, now that's too much. Yeah, that's too much. You can notice that it's too much. It doesn't even look real. So we're going to go back and we're just going to delete the first one. So then we still have one more because we duplicated. We had 2. And we're just going to select that. I'm just going to drag it up a little bit and pull it back down just a little, just to give it a little bit more of a blur effect. I might even crop it a little more. I could try cropping it like this, but it cuts off too much. I don't like that. So I'm going to end up leaving it somewhere around, yeah, somewhere around there. Okay. Next, the highlights. If we click on our show highlight clipping, you can see there is no clipping, but it still looks white. And that's because the sky was literally just pure white. There were clouds in the sky. There wasn't really anything. If you drop the highlights, you can somewhat see it. If you drop the exposure not all the way, but kind of all the way, you can see that there were cirrus clouds up in the sky. So it kind of was hard to produce a nice composition per se. But we have the clarity tool, or I'm sorry, the dehaze tool to our advantage. But first we're going to go through to our basic adjustments. Sorry if I'm going a little quick, but we're going to drop the highlights, bring up the shadows, like always, double click, whites, see what that does. Barely did anything. Double click blacks. That's a little too much. Yeah, I don't like that. That's too much. So we'll probably stick right about there. We can come back and change these. Let's play with the contrast. Let's take that all the way up and see what it's doing. Okay, we're getting some clipping out here, and the blue. There's too much blue. So we're just going to take the blue out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Might be just a little bit too much because I don't remember the water being this brown that day. And it is in a shadow, so it does seem cooler. But let's double check the contrast. Yeah, see, that's getting a lot better. That's a lot better. We're just going to bring it up probably 20. Perfect. Okay, next we're going to do clarity. If we jump clarity all the way up, it does a pretty good job, but we're going to actually leave that. Let's put it back to 0, but let's just take it up a little bit. Let's do it on 15. And I'm positive that I'm going to be converting this image into a black and white. I mean, you can pretty much tell already, and I will end up bringing the contrast up. But again, I'm here to show you that dehaze feature. So let's jump right down into the effects panel. Click on the effects, closes everything else because we have solo mode turned on. And we're going to go down to dehaze, click on it. We're going to use the scroll wheel just to scroll up, because if you do it too much, you get some crazy weird stuff. If you don't do it at all, you get this. So you just play around with it like I do. And take it. Sometimes I take it all the way up and bring it back, but in this case I'm just going to start at 0. I'm just going to work my way up a little by little and see what we got. Because what it does is it really separates the wave from the background. And if we go back up to basic, change it back to color, you can see it's definitely bringing out some color. And I'm going to just drop this down because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There's too much blue. I could technically, let's put this all right back to normal. See how there's too much blue? I'm going to go to color, go to the blue. You could, again, take your hue to see what you're changing. Go left and right, so you can see that it's changing your overall, all the blue. So I'm going to take the blue and I'm just going to drop it down. See? But we're just about at a black and white picture right now. Just about. So to make things easier, we're probably just going to end up going straight to black and white right away. Yeah, luminance, I don't think we need to change. We'll keep it like that. Let's go back over here, black and white. Yeah, we're good. Black and white. Okay. Alright, so we're going back down to the effects. We're at 35 right now. 35, yeah. I think that's nice. I like that. And look at that. We're barely 8 minutes into this video, and we have pretty much a fully edited picture, and this wave is gigantic. We're talking, if I was standing in the water, I'd be probably waist deep. That would be easily a 10-foot wave, just towering right over me. We can also go into the black and white panel here and play around with these. This will help bring out more of the changing the colors from black to white and different types of grays in between, everything like that. I really like the way they had it right about there at 35. I'm really enjoying that. So we're going to close that now. We're going to go into detail. We need to sharpen this. I'm going to click on, let's see, let's do right there. I might do some brush sharpening actually with this one. I don't think I'm actually going to turn the sharpening off on this. And there's no noise reduction. I don't need to do any noise reduction. So let's go over to the brush. And I made a custom brush that's called More Detail. Basically, it's clarity cranked up to 100. And I'm bringing that down though because I don't like the effect that the clarity had earlier. And the sharpness I'm just going to leave up. And what's my flow at? Yeah, flow 60, feather 100. Always leave feather on at 100. Size of the brush is obviously determined by the scroll wheel. My battery's dying in my mouse, so please bear with. We're just going to go ahead and paint on some clarity. You can see, yeah, that's doing quite a bit. So here I'm going to paint in the middle. Look at that. Just complete 180. Okay. It's looking really good. Yeah, that's looking really good. You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it too. Let's just see where we got. Okay, we're missing a couple spots in here. Okay, now let's turn this off and see where we are. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Let's see. Can we bring out some highlights too? That didn't do much. Shadows. Shadows didn't do much. Let's see, whites. Bring out some whites, blacks. So you don't want to go too crazy, but you do want to play around. You definitely want to play around. You can see we got some clipping going on here. I'm actually going to turn that off and check it out. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're going to bring the whites back down just a little bit though. It's probably from the clarity. Bet you if I take the erase and I erase that, yep. Just like I thought. And hit done. So let's go back and see our before. We can hit the Y. Or no, I'm sorry. I did not hit Y. That was comparing left and right. I hit the backslash right above the enter key. So that's before, and that's after. Before and after. In the next video, we'll probably maybe do another wave picture. I'm not 100% sure. I actually have a couple little chickadee bird pictures. Maybe we can edit some of them. But if you guys are looking for anything specific other than just a general editing tutorial, I can go into depth in maybe a couple others in the side panel. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, just leave them in the comment section below. Please don't forget to hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.